Hey everyone, I'm back from WonderCon and watched Mad Men Severance, the first of what will be 6 episodes toward the finale. Now we have 5 more to go before there's no more Mad Men. Oh man, that's really not cool. That aside, I watched Severance now 3 times, or is this? It's still on as I make this. It's the fourth time, and I was thinking of what I like most about Mad Men. And what I like most, what attracted me to the series from the start, is that it feels like a period work. It feels like a historical record of the 60s from a pop culture perspective. And I don't know if we're going to see that. Let me take that back. Sure, we'll see that again in some kind of way, but there will never be anything like Mad Men. Because to take something that is, first of all, visually accurate, and then historically accurate, and then insert within it characters that have layer and depth, played by great actors who obviously love what they do, or at least it seems to show through in the way they depict their characters and come through and perform their characters. That combination, that's rare. It really is. It really is. Now, the episode itself, what I liked best, well, okay. I liked I liked that Don Draper is just letting it all hang out, and he is trying to find that one happy woman, and at the same time trying to figure out in that journey that right path he wants to take on a personal level. Professionally, he's got it down. He's not going to lose his mind over a job, or at least we're led to believe that by what he says to other people, like Ken, for example, when he says, you know, don't go off the handle. It's just a job. But and that's what I like about Don is there's this chaos and morass all over the place, and people trying to figure out life and all this stuff. And Don just takes all that in stride as if he's already figured that part of life out. That's at least that's the veneer he puts on. But the chaos comes in the personal side of it, and the women that he chooses to ride life with. And in that, I suppose there's some of me in that. For example, there are people on Twitter who were really surprised and shocked that he had sex in an alley. I've done that, and I did that with a woman I was completely in love with at the time, brought up Bozek, and at Berkeley, and we were in the back of the Fine Arts Theater. Wonder whatever happened to Rada. But at any rate, that was ancient history. The bottom line is, you just want what you want at that moment, and it's a way of grasping on to a kind of a relationship that you think is going to bind everything together. And you know what? Sometimes this doesn't really happen that way. And that was certainly true for me with Rada. And that's certainly true for Don Draper in this episode. Because in that moment, he was trying to find something. Then he came back to the restaurant and realized that something just wasn't there. It doesn't necessarily mean that he may not go back to her again, and something else may come up from that. I mean, after all, Rada and I were certainly not one and done. We were friends, good friends for some time. But I digress. What I love about this episode, and is what I love about Mad Men, there's these layers, there are these moments that you can relate to because they happen to you, but those moments are encapsulated within this very palpable change in history. The Nixon speech, for example. the mustaches that suddenly spring up on the faces of people like John Slater's character Roger or Ted. Wow. And then the coming of age of women, like Joan being flush with cash and deciding she's not going to take any shit from guys anymore in a 60s parlance. I'm really interested to see what happens with that. So, Mad Men, Severance. King gets his revenge, too, at the end. If you haven't had a chance to watch the episode, please. It's a great episode. Watch it.